our presentation is about cell phone uses and the radiation and the effects it has on our bodies.
So nowadays it's almost uncommon to find someone who doesn't own a cell phone or some type of cellular device. And it's true, cell phones have become one of the fundamental means of communication in our society, and they're used on a day-to-day basis by most people. And the average American will spend 144 minutes a day using their cell phone during a 16-hour period. And as years go on, this number has significantly increased by a ton. And the high frequency of cell phone use can have a lot of negative effects on our stress levels, like the constant ringing, the vibrating alerts and reminders all day can put a cell phone user on edge. Cell phones emit radio frequency energy, which is a form of non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation, and this can be absorbed by tissues closest to where the phone is held. If mobile phones have 18 times more bacteria than toilet handles, can they really be that healthy for you? And what about radiation? Does this have any harm on us? Okay, so is it a myth or fact that cell phones can cause cancer, and more specifically breast cancer?
So there is currently no link between the phone use and the increased risk of breast cancer. The International Agency for Research on Cancer concluded in 2011 that radio frequency fields such as those from phones may cause cancer, but more research is actually needed for it to be confirmed. It is a well-known fact that cell phones radiate electromagnetic waves, but there is no evidence that they can actually cause cancer. Dr. George Carlo, an epidemiologist, cannot say that word, believes that because we don't yet know the health risks, we must exercise caution. Exposure to ionizing radiation, such as those from radiation therapy, is known to increase the risk of cancer. So, however, although many studies have examined the potential health effects of non-ionizing radiation from radar, microwave ovens, and other sources, there is currently no consistent evidence of radiation causing cancer. So, who should worry the most about cell phone usage?
Okay, so the people who should be most aware are children, pregnant women, and men who plan to have children. And children have much thinner skulls and scalps, so the radiation can penetrate deeper into their brains, which is extremely harmful for them. And their cells are dividing at a much faster rate, so the impact of radiation can be a lot larger. And the developing organs of the fetus or child are the most sensitive to any possible side effects of radiation exposure. In 2008, researchers analyzed data from almost 13,000 children and found that exposure to cell phones while in the womb and also during childhood were linked to behavioral difficulties. Using cell phones just 2 or 3 times a day during pregnancy was enough to raise the risk of their babies developing hyperactivity and difficulties with their emotions by the time they reached school age. And there's a direct relationship between cell phone usage and sperm count decline as well. So sperm count is reduced by half in men who carry cell phones in their front pockets for 4 hours a day. The motility of the sperm is also impaired, and the testicular barrier, which protects the sperm, is the most sensitive of tissues in the body and is 100 times more absorbent. So besides sperm count and function, the mitochondrial DNA of sperm are damaged 3 times more if exposed to cell phone radiation. So how can we take action?
So, children should not play with radiating cell phones. While you can put the phone on airplane mode, which disconnects it from Wi-Fi and the internet, the cell phone still emits radioactive and magnetic fields from the battery, which have been shown to have biological consequences. Wi-Fi exposure should be limited or eliminated. If you have a Wi-Fi router, make sure to turn it off. when you're not using it, and to have a low power version and not in a high use area. Schools should not have Wi-Fi. Cabled wired connections do not pose the same risk as Wi-Fi. If there is Wi-Fi, again, it should be limited to the time when the Wi-Fi is specifically needed. If you can use a landline, use it as much as possible, and get rid of your portable phone and use a landline. At the very least, don't keep your cell phone in your bedroom while you sleep, and be aware that landline phones emit magnetic fields from the speaker, and sensitive people can sometimes feel them. Keep your cell phones away from your body. Avoid keeping it in your pocket or on your belt. If you're pregnant, keep it away from your belly, and use texting more than talking. Use a wired earpiece or headphones. With cell phones, like with landline phones, some people are impacted by the magnetic field from the speaker and the earbuds, so choose a model with the greatest distance from your ear. So besides radio wave, what other effects can phones have on you?
So the high frequency of cell phone use can have a lot of negative effects on our stress levels, just because of the constant ringing, the vibrating alerts and reminders can put lots of cell phone users on edge. Touching of your cell phone can harbor germs on your handset. The greasy residue you may see on your cell phone after a day's use can contain more disease-prone germs than found on a toilet seat. In a study conducted at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in Queen Mary University of London, researchers sampled 390 cell phones and hands to measure the level of bacteria. The results of the study showed that 92% of the cell phones sampled had bacteria on them. 82% of hands had bacteria, and 16% of cell phones and hands had E. coli.
How has cell phone ownership increased in the past 10 years?
The percent of cell phone ownership has gone up almost 30% from 2010 to 2012. Also, the radiation emitted has also gone up 30%.
How do you test your radiation in your cell phone?
Alright, so we used a Geiger detector and recorded the amount of radiation emitted from an iPhone 5S with the phone on, and during a call, we tested the experiment in a semi-isolated area that had little electronics on in the room. So basically, based on the information, carrying your cell phone in your pocket makes up almost half of the safe amount of radiation you can be exposed to, and that's without making a call.
So on the left side of the picture, it's a thermographic image of the head with no exposure to harmful cell phone radiation. So you can see there isn't as much color as the picture on the right, and there isn't as much bright red colors in it either. And on the right side is a thermographic image of the head after only a 15-minute phone call. The yellow and red areas indicate thermal effects that can cause negative health effects.
How long do you keep your phone by your side in a day?
Most of the day, yes.
Alright. Do you sleep with your phone?
No,
No? And where do you carry your phone?
right pocket.
Alright. Did you know sperm count is reduced by half in men by carrying your cell phone in your pocket for 4 hours a day?
How old are you?
Most men are unaware of these consequences caused by cell phones.